As we enter the holiday season, the excitement of family gatherings and holiday parties are worth celebrating. Coming up on Polk Place, we have tips on how you can enjoy the season in a healthier way. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today is Nicole Riley, the Public Information Officer with the Florida Department of Health. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Tina. I'm happy to be here today.
Yes, well, there's nothing worse than being sick during the holidays. I had a virus during the holidays, and I was miserable when everybody else is happy. So let's talk about how we can avoid those things.
Yes, absolutely. You know, unfortunately, this is the time of year, the fall leading into the winter months, this is the time of year when the weather is changing and colds and flu start to spread around a little bit. It's also a time where people are gathering more, they're in public places a little bit more, so the risk for spread for flu or cold it's just at a greater risk. So this time of year, the health department is really pushing for people to get their flu shot. Last year the flu was pretty bad. There's no way to indicate each year to year how the flu season is going to change. However, it's just vitally important for people to get their flu shot. Especially, I'm pregnant, I've gotten my flu shot, especially pregnant moms or people who have children or around people who may be more of the vulnerable populations, those a little more likely to get sick. Mm-hmm. It's really important for people to get so that they can stay healthy. It's their best defense against getting the flu. Also, the common cold is also something that's spread around this time of year. So it's important for people to wash their hands, make sure they're sneezing into their elbow or
vampire sneeze.
Yes, the vampire sneeze.
I always tell my kids, like you're pulling a cape around.
Yes, to not sneeze into their hands, to keep their hands away from their face, and make sure we're keeping hands washed with soap and warm water is really the best way.
Let's go back to the flu shots for a while, or for a minute. You had mentioned the vulnerable population, and it's not only important for them to get it, but it's important for everybody else to get it because you're also protecting those people against it. So your elderly people, the people who have lowered immune systems, who may not be able to get the flu shot because of allergies and things like that. So it's important. I know there's places to get flu shots everywhere. What type of information or flu shots does the Florida Department of Health recommend?
We do have flu shots available at all of our clinic locations. You can call or walk in, and we do provide those for both children and adults. If someone wants to go to their primary care doctor, a lot of primary care offices offer those flu shots, as well as some like CVS or Publix, drugstores, those types of places.
Yeah, almost any pharmacy you walk into, they have big advertisements for flu shots and often incentives. They offer, rewards or coupons or, discounts or even gift cards. I've noticed a couple that have gift cards if, you want to go that route. And a lot of the time it's covered by insurance.
The great thing is people see the importance of the flu shot. So it is widely available. So, people can take their pick, whatever is easiest for them, or maybe call ahead wherever they plan to get their flu shot to check and make sure it's covered by insurance. If they don't have insurance, they're always welcome to come. We do have it available at the health department, so they are able to come and get that flu shot there as well. But it's just important for anybody and everybody 6 months of age or older to get the flu shot. Like you said, you hit it spot on just a minute ago. It's not only a person's best defense against preventing the flu, but it also helps protect themselves and their families, their coworkers. If they work in the health field and they're working with patients, it helps keep their patients protected, whoever they may come in contact with. So it's a person's and a community's best defense against the flu.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about the common cold, and the flu is included in that with hand washing, because even if you've gotten your flu shot, you can be a carrier of it if you're not washing your hands regularly. So personal hygiene and things like that become even more important, not to mention any kind of foodborne illnesses or
Yes.
tummy type issues can also be transmitted, so wash those hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. And speaking of, this is a great time of the year for food, and sometimes people aren't super knowledgeable on food safety and what not to do, and they're in the kitchen and they're, you know, doing some stuff. Let's talk about some healthy preparation tips.
Sure, absolutely. You know, Thanksgiving has come past pretty quickly, and I know people, and the holiday seasons are moving forward. I know I love to be in the kitchen cooking quite a bit. Oftentimes, you know, family have little hands that want to help, or you know, a spouse or a friend or whoever may be cooking in the kitchen. You said it perfectly just a minute ago. Hand washing is one of the biggest things that people can do when they're working in the kitchen. Any helping hands in the kitchen need to make sure hands are washed with soap and water, just to keep those germs at bay. But also to be mindful as you're prepping a variety of different dishes. It's important to think about keeping your raw meats separate from your fresh foods that people, you know, that are not going to be cooked, that people may be eating fresh. If you don't want to take raw chicken or meat and cut it on a cutting board and then use that same knife to cut your fresh fruits and veggies, that would not end very well.
No, it probably wouldn't. Also checking proper temperatures when you're
Yes.
cooking meat, that's very important.
Making sure things are thoroughly cooked
Right.
and
Especially
at proper
poultry.
temperatures. Yes, absolutely. And different meats have a different cooking temperature, so be sure to look at either your recipe or to look online to make sure that that's at the
Right.
proper temperature.
I've been cooking for longer than I can even tell you. I mean, probably 30 years at this point, and I still check. I'm like, let me double check that. Like, we were smoking a pork roast this weekend,
Oh, yum.
and I'm like, is it 185? But it was actually 200. So if I would have stopped it at 185, that increases my risk for getting my whole family sick. So it's important to do, you know, those things when preparing food. Because you don't want to get, I mean, pay attention to food recalls too.
Absolutely.
You know,
There have been a lot of them lately.
yes, and I know that E. coli is a problem, and it's not a good thing to have. You definitely don't want to have that. While we're on the topic of food, this is also the time of year people tend to indulge, and are there any tips for maybe making it a little more healthy this time of the year?
Sure, yeah. It's important for people just to be mindful of some of the things that they're eating. I'm a big advocate for the family recipes that have, you know, the good stuff you can't pass up, but moderation is key. Just being mindful of some of the things that you're eating. Also, this is a good time of year to just be mindful about getting out and exercising a little bit.
So much cooler.
It is. The weather is so much cooler. It's much more pleasant. It's amazing what a little 30-minute walk can do a couple days a week to help, you know, just kind of manage and get yourself out there and keep yourself exercised, and you feel a lot better. The holidays are also a very stressful time. So at the health department, we actually have partnered with a campaign called Maintain, Don't Gain, and it's something done in different states. And it's actually a website you can go on and click on. It actually started a little bit before Thanksgiving. It's a 6 or 7 week program, but you can go on and you can sign up for emails, and it gives healthy tips for recipes, maybe some recipe alternatives that might make it a little bit lighter. It gives tips for getting out and exercising and just being mindful of healthier practices over the holidays. It's also a very stressful time, so you know, watching what we eat and maybe getting out and getting a little exercise can help lower and reduce some of that stress that builds up around the holidays. It's a good stress relief. But those emails actually address some of the emotions that people may encounter over the holidays as well. So if anybody is interested in signing up, it's not too late. It is Maintain, Don't Gain, and you can Google it on the website and sign up for weekly, even daily newsletters that come in that give some healthy tips just to be mindful over the holidays.
And what you mentioned about stress is also important, because your stress levels play a large part in your immunity. And the more stress you get, the lower your immune system goes, and it just all ties together. So it's awesome that they provide that resource for, healthy eating and, your stress levels. So
Absolutely, you said it perfectly. It's being mindful of the lifestyle choices, of the health choices, of keeping hands washed and clean, because they all tie together. I mean, if you're sick over the holidays, it can increase stress, or if you're not eating properly or exercising, it could increase your risk for catching a cold, or they all go hand in hand. So just tips to be mindful of over the holiday season. Nobody wants to share the gift of giving a cold or an upset stomach.
that is
or
not a good gift at all.
No, so it's just being mindful of the little things, and it's a happy time of year, and it's to be enjoyed and celebrated, but just to be mindful of those things that can creep in there and disrupt some of the happy moments too.
Absolutely. So hopefully people have listened and gotten some good tips, and this year will be a little bit healthier for them. So thank you for coming out.
And thanks for having me.
The Florida Department of Health in Polk County wants you to know there is nothing joyous about getting sick over the holidays. This is the one gift you don't want to share this season. To reduce a person's chance of illness, it's important to practice good health behaviors. One thing to remember while preparing for holiday festivities is to remain healthy. Don't forget to take the necessary steps to prioritize your health. For more information, you can give them a call at 863-519-7900 or look them up on the web at www.polk.floridahealth.gov.